Hello ladies and gentlemen,
I am bringing you a quality victory today over a zerg opponent. As some of you may know, and up to this point in my StarCraft 2 career, I've had a lot of success against zerg until I got to Platinum League, and then in Platinum League I started to lose to every zerg I played, and I just needed to come up with a new strategy. So that didn't really happen until I watched the MLG Major League Gaming Anaheim Invitational StarCraft 2 tournament, and there were a couple good Terran players there who won the whole tournament. In fact, I think the final 8 players, or actually final 4 players, I believe, were all Terran. I think the final 8 were like 5 or 6 Terrans. So perhaps there's a strategy that that is better for Terrans early in the game. And once recently I had a friend who's a Zerg player tell me that Terran is stronger than Zerg in the early game, as long as you make the right units. Assuming a Zergling rush isn't coming, then if the Zerg player goes quick expo, which Zerg players almost always do these days, then if you scout the expo, then you're safe with this build. And this build is basically this pretty standard build. When you get to your factory, you want to make sure you get your second gas going and fully saturated fairly soon after, but you also want to make sure you do not get supply blocked, because you need to have at least you want to get to the 37 food mark for this build to work as quickly as possible. So I'm putting a tech lab on, but I'm actually going to be making hellions with it, and you can spit out 4 hellions by about the 640 mark, I believe. Okay, maybe it's going to take a bit longer than that. I guess by about the 7 minute mark you can spit out 4 hellions. And the pro players, they would go with just 2 hellions with the blue flame upgrade, of course. The blue flame upgrade doubles their power almost versus light units. And the pro players would do this with just 2 hellions. They would get 2 hellions, the 1 medvac. You can see the medvac's about done. And I'm building a expo, and I'm going to change that to an orbital. Call down a couple mules before heading out to my expo inside my base to give me a quick financial boost. But you can see you could go with just 2 if you were really fast. You can see all these Zerglings coming up to my base. Unfortunately for me, I was able to get 4 of these hellions out and get them in this medvac without him scouting this at all. So I'm actually going to fly over this pack of Zerglings to get down here to his base. But if we switch to his camera, you'll see he doesn't. He's busy looking down here, and his little red dot goes beep 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 across the mini map, and he did not notice. And so I was saying though, the pro players would just go with 2 SCVs. Excuse me, 2 blue flame hellions, because all you need is 2. If you line them up perfectly and shoot across a nice line, then sure, you'll kill all the drones. But in my experience, if you don't kill all the drones, this build is not going to work, basically. You really do need to kill all the drones you possibly can. So, and hellions will shoot the queen or any troops, so you have to make sure you target fire the drones. And you see this spore crawler? Well, I just completely ignore it. I just go straight on top of it to draw my troops. I was a little afraid I might die before it drops them all, but And look at these workers, and they just go down. And you can see they're shooting the queen right now, mainly, not the workers. So you really do want to, I mean, 4 hellions can kill a queen, but that's not why you came into the base. If you do kill a queen, it's just 150 workers. You see all his zerglings, he ran them all the way back from my base, and I was so sure I was going to kill all the zerglings when I got my hellions back here. But as you can see, they were unable to. And really, I probably should have killed them all if my micro were a little bit better. Meanwhile, he's getting the infestor starting energy rate. But this queen barely survived. He's building a spine crawler. My zerg friend, a different player, not this person, he told me that the reason why you want to go hellions and then go you want to go banshee and mass marine is because you'll keep him guessing as to what you're going to build next. You'll keep him, you'll force him to need to get detection. You'll force him to worry about blue flame hellions. He won't want to make zerglings. If you go hellions, he's going to have to get some detection and get something to deal with that hydralisk or mutalisk, and he may not be planning to build those things. And then if you have all these marines, that will deal with the actually pretty much anything. So except for banelings, but that's what the choppers are for, and the hellions are supposedly good against fairly good against banelings, but I don't know. I wasn't getting any anti-air. I was just trusting basically my marines to be able to deal with any muta harassment, which you do have to worry about. And so never mind that. I planned to just come in here with my hellions, but I ended up coming in here, or not my hellions, with my banshees. But I was not meaning to bring these SCVs over. So the hellions probably would have been better off surviving for later, and banshees come in here and wipe out all these servants first. I think he intentionally put his overlords here to slow down and kind of attack. I think that was purposeful. You can see that he's got plenty of them, so he won't be supply blocked. I end up killing all of these overlords, and he's still not supply blocked. So I think that really shows you what's going on. So he's making 24 zerglings. 24 zerglings. Unfortunately for him, they're not queued very well. So they're kind of running around, and it's not really a great place for them to be queued. So, I mean, I still have 2 banshees, this queen, or he had a sport collar down here, or it was over here, I don't know, sport collar, because when the banshees got killed. So you can see he's still on a supply block, and he's been killing all his units, and now he's making 2 investors, but again, there's still such a rally, it's a bad spot. Actually another queen. So making 4 marines at a time. I've got my units because I'm bringing them down in waves a little bit. I built 2 bunkers here just for defense. Never built an engineering bay. Probably would have been a good idea, but unfortunately, I guess I felt like I had the game command in hand here, and he did manage to fungal growth some of my marines. That's what happened to them. And I've got the second wave of marines coming down. I'm actually building 5 infestors, and the good news is that I had my troops split up enough to where I guess it was hard for him to fungal growth at all. Things pop, and you're still queued to a bad spot, so I'm trying to get to this key point, and could have all potential fungal growth. but in the end, it was just the only one that had enough energy to do it. And at this point, so he really has no defense at all. I could have technically these turns, but I guess I feel like we just game over, and there's the GG. So I hope you learned something. 2 Hellion, 3 Banshee, attack the Marines. Good way to go against zerg, even in plat. So, hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something, and I'll see you guys next time.